Okay, friends. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for coming to Cafecito this morning. I want to spend some time kind of reviewing some of the things that have been going on, some things that we have coming up in the near future, and then want to open it up to questions. And so we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, I wanted to share some updates from the end of the first quarter for our school year. Thank you so much for getting that signed. First of all, we had our first elementary field day. We're doing basically every month, we're doing a positive behavior intervention kind of celebration event for students who earn things. And so on the elementary side of things, we did a field day back on September 29th. And so the kids went outside, had a great time. We had a number of family volunteers come out and help. And that was a lot of fun. Shortly after that, we did a middle school field day as well in the afternoon for our middle school kiddos, just kind of ending the quarter on that high note to kind of celebrate the students coming in with focus every day, doing the things that they needed to do. We also, the biggest event, I'd say, first quarter was our block party and curb extension right over here off of Silvosa. The city, after, working with us for a number of years and things being slowed down by COVID, the city was finally able to bring in the crosswalk, get that installed. They also installed the curb extension, and then we had a day of beautification where we worked with a local artist, same local artist who did the street mural on the north side of our campus, assisted us, worked with kids, got some designs created, and then put in the new street mural on the curb extension. And as a part of that, we have a bunch of planters in the street with new desert dwelling plants. We've been watering those, keeping them up, and started off, I was doing it 3 days a week, but now we have a student service group, our Bridge Builders Club, and they're taking it over now. And so they're going through and doing the watering just to make sure we can keep those plants fed and growing until they get firmly established on their own. We also have had a number of events by our PTO. We had a PTO pizza night at Peter Piper Pizza. We did that October 16th. After that, we had our fall picture retakes. And then PTO also put on for our elementary kiddos a Halloween dance on the 20th. And that was a lot of fun. All the kids came in and, got to come in a costume and kind of have a little dance party here in the cafeteria. Had a lovely time with that. And it was quite a lot of fun. We last week, right at the end of last week, had our Q1 student awards. And then the big thing after that was our fall festival. And so it's been a little while since we've been able to get a fall festival up and running. We ran it pre-COVID pretty faithfully every year. COVID came, we slowed down. Last year, we tried to get it up and running, but had a number of weather and other things come up. So we had to postpone it and turn it into a spring festival, which was still a lot of fun, but, kind of off the time we normally ran things. And so this year we're able to get back to having the fall festival, and it was awesome to have families come out and, see the kids being able to enjoy the games and the inflatables and the haunted house and all that good stuff. And it was just a lot of fun. We have a lot of things coming up a little later on this week. In fact, tomorrow, we will have our next elementary field day for PBIS. We've got a field trip that many of our elementary grade levels are going to be going on Thursday for Dia de los Muertos. And that's going to include our kindergarten, first grade, third grade, and fifth grade classes are going to be going on that. We also this week have our very first boys volleyball, girls basketball game that's going to be played. So we've started our second season of middle school sports. So that's up and running. Next week, we'll have our Veterans Day ceremony on the 9th in the morning here at school. One of the things we do every year is celebrate veterans within the community, veterans who are connected to our families, with a ceremony in the morning where we'll gather at the flagpole, read the names of any veterans connected to our community. Come on in. We got to sign in, coffee, cookies. So that ceremony will be next Thursday morning. And then there will be no school on Friday due to a recognition of Veterans Day. And that's district-wide. The week after that, on the 14th, is Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day. And so that's a day to commemorate Ruby Bridges, who was, one of our early advocates and heroes when it came to the desegregation efforts in ensuring that schools had equality for all students. As a part of the civil rights movement. And so we will be honoring that day and participating in a march within the school grounds and teaching students about Ruby Bridges and the experiences that she had, and part of what has made her a hero within the civil rights movement within our society and within our nation. And so that's going to be Tuesday the 14th. And so right now, our social studies teacher on the middle school side and our regular grade level teachers here on the elementary side are kind of prepping students for that, doing different lessons based on the grade level to ensure it's age appropriate, to kind of get students prepped and ready for that. One thing that is a little bit different from what we had previously scheduled out is for our mobile food bank. We had our last mobile food bank this last Friday. Our next mobile food bank we had scheduled for November 17th. We're going to cancel the November food bank. Right now, the food bank has had some difficulties in getting supplies in, and so that's been reducing. We also, over the course of November and December, have a lot of specific donations with family food boxes going out to specific families in need. So we'll be able to continue that service. And Utterback is going to be helping out and is inviting any of our community members to join in. They have two drive-through food banks that they're going to be doing in the month of November. And so we're going to come consolidate and work with them. And so instead of doing the mobile food bank on the 17th, we're just going to do the specific family food boxes, and then we'll be communicating out the dates and times of the Utterback drive-through mobile food bank. End of November, we'll have our Thanksgiving break on the 23rd and 24th, and our next Cafecito will be November 28th. And again, here in the cafeteria. And this should be a fun one because this is going to be one that includes a student performance for us. Our middle school students are going to be, guitar students are going to be coming in to perform for our Cafecito. And so this will be a fun one to be in person if you can. Those folks who are online will try and broadcast it as best we can. But sometimes the sound quality isn't great. So if you'd like to enjoy some student guitars, come on by in person that day. All right. It's interesting that you brought up the safety issues on Friday. I want to talk a little bit about some safety issues we've had, some concerns about as a school campus, kind of talk about what's been going on. I have been putting notices out to families as they've occurred, but there have now been two different instances within the last month. One was yesterday, one was a couple of weeks ago, where there have been gunshots nearby school. One was south of us, and the other was, the one yesterday was northwest of us. Yesterday it was like Menor and Norton. The other one was, I'm forgetting the name of the street. I want to say 33rd, just down here a little bit south of our campus. The good news is that in both of these cases, we had staff members who were outside, observing students, keeping track of things, who heard the gunshots, we're able to make quick reports both to the Tucson Police Department and to our district school safety, and we got very quick responses from both of those organizations. We're really lucky in the Tucson Unified School District. Unlike many other school districts, we have a dedicated department for school safety. It's staffed mostly by former police officers, and folks with a lot of security and protection experience who come into that role, and so they also have very close connections to both the sheriff's department and the Tucson Police Department. So anytime something is going on within the community, they kind of act as our liaison and are able to get information from them and get information to us about whatever we need to know to help keep our students safe. The other good thing that came out of both of these situations was that the students reacted very well and very quickly. Staff was able to get all students pulled inside the school buildings in both incidences. We went into a secured campus state where we kept students in classrooms and in school buildings and limited access and movement on campus. So if we needed to go into a full lockdown, we could. Students did well with it. Teachers continued teaching. Students continued learning. And I kept up my communication internally with school staff and then made the notices out to the community. One of the things that I want to mention is that sometimes when these things occur, we'll have students, any students who have their own mobile devices like cell phones and things like that, will often text families, text parents, and say, hey, there's something going on in the school. And so anytime folks within the community and family members are getting messages, please don't hesitate to call our front office and let us know. And that's typically what happened here. Yesterday, we fielded a number of phone calls from family members who got those calls from students saying, hey, I hear there's something going on. Is my kid safe? Is everything all right? And we're happy to provide whatever information we can. A lot of times we'll be pretty general in that information. We'll say there's something going on within the community. We're continuing school as normal, because, especially early on, we don't want to put information out when we or TPD or school safety is trying to gather information in, because it can just make things difficult within investigations. But we will always make sure to put something out each day something like that occurs so that folks within the community know there was an event, this is how it was handled, what was the response that we got from law enforcement, from school safety. And so this also highlights the importance of making sure that you don't turn off notifications from the school. I know sometimes folks will get the text messages or the phone calls or the emails, and it's really easy to go, I don't want to get all the information that I always get, and they'll shut off notifications. But if that happens, it shuts off all notifications from our site, and there's no real way for the system to differentiate, this is a notification that needs to come through whether a person is shutting it off or not. And so I always suggest to folks in the community, if you are not getting text messages from me, if you're not getting emails from me, please go back in to your parent view and communication settings and make sure that those communications haven't been turned off. And if you need help with that, talk to our folks from the office and they can assist you with making sure you're getting those. And then if there's ever something that happens outside in the community or ever something that someone has a concern about that we should know about, the school site should know about, please don't hesitate to either call our front office or email myself personally. I get emails on my phone at any time. I check them throughout the day. I check them at home. I check them on the weekends. And so anytime there's some kind of safety issue that our schools should be aware of, or even if it's just to keep an eye out for something, or maybe something that we want to forward to our district school safety department or to Tucson police, please don't hesitate to let us know. We want to make sure we're keeping all of our kiddos and staff members and families safe to the best of our ability. So for today, that's the end of the presentation as far as things I have. I want to open it up for any questions folks might have here in person or online about anything going on or anything coming up within the next month or so.